Hello, my name is Pamela, and I am the creator of Yoga to Sleep, helping you get better sleep for the best life. Today, we'll be talking about sleep hormones and the importance of them as a part of our Sleep Basics series. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about hormones. Many of us have heard of cortisol, the stress hormone, and how that affects our sleep, how it affects really what we eat, and how food manifests in our body. So that's the stress hormone, right? And so we know about that. We hear a lot about cortisol. We have to decrease cortisol. But there's so many other hormones, and I'd like to really get into them. And I have some notes here. Melatonin, many of us have heard about that. Melatonin is located in the pineal gland here, and it regulates our circadian rhythm. So in our last video, we talked about the circadian rhythm, the internal clock that is housed in the hypothalamus. That's so important to our sleep and wake cycles. But this melatonin hormone regulates circadian rhythms, and it helps induce sleep. So there are lots of things on the market that helps kind of promote melatonin, certain foods you can eat and consume that will help promote the melatonin hormone. Also, there's serotonin, which regulates your mood, regulates our social behavior, our sleep mood, our sleep kind of memory, as well as sexual desire. So serotonin is important as well in sleep. There's also the vitality hormone, DHEA, and I can't pronounce the entire word. It's a very long word, but that's really housed in the adrenals, and that's a vitality hormone. And so there's a pattern here of having a vitality hormone at one end, right, and then having cortisol at the other end of, say, we have a spectrum, and really trying to balance that out, because we're going to have some stress in our lives, especially in these times. We're going to have some stress. So how do we make sure that we have this kind of decent balance, this decent ebb and flow of DHEA as related to cortisol, and vice versa. So just keeping that in mind. Also, we have a GH, a growth hormone, that is important to sleep because it really involves growth in tissues and bone. And in sleep, this is where this hormone goes to work, really is active. And the sleep is a time of where our body is repairing itself. We're recharging. It's like a battery recharging. And so often in this culture, there's been this narrative around not needing, sleep, not needing this sleep. I only need, sleep is for wimps. I only need 4 hours of sleep. All of this kind of dialogue has invaded our psyche through societal kind of norms, that we don't need as much sleep as we do. And we need about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. And these hormones play a part in it. So the hormones are working behind the scenes to get us the sleep that we need. So we have this growth hormone that's always important. Tissues, bones, cells, we're always regenerating, recharging. And we need that energy, that sleep that comes from sleep, to recharge that growth of cells, tissues, bone. So that's how that works. And then we have two hormones that are really interesting: leptin and ghrelin. So you may have heard of leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is produced by the body's fat cells. If you don't get enough sleep, guess what happens with leptin? You have more leptin growth, or overgrowth. And ghrelin, the hunger hormone. What happens when you don't get enough sleep with ghrelin? That seems to increase and go up, and you feel like you're hungry because there's something else that needs to satiate your body. Sometimes you're thirsty and not really hungry. That's a different thing. And sometimes you just haven't had enough sleep. Have you ever woken up and been so tired, like you really didn't get full sleep, and then you really seems like you're famished when you wake up? That's ghrelin at work. So, and that's a lot of hormones that are at play with ghrelin. If you don't have enough melatonin, if you don't have enough serotonin, and then the ghrelin is increased, and you have this leptin. So again, we're talking about the balance of our hormones as they relate to sleep. So that's a lot of just those are the important sleep hormones at a glance that I wanted to offer so that we have a better understanding of why our health, our physical body, our mental space, our emotional space is really imperative to how the hormones work in our bodies with regards to sleep. So I hope this helps. My name is Pamela, and you can reach me if you want any consultation or yoga therapy. I do yoga therapy specifically around sleep and around trauma conscious, trauma-informed practices as well. So my email is at gmail.com, yoga the number 2 sleep at gmail.com. Have a wonderful day.